who you trashing.
I'm not trashing anyone today.
You just feel too good?
I feel too good. I feel epic.
Right.
I feel Chris euphoric. It was that kind of day, for real.
Well, that's
you don't have
good.
that many days in your life. Maybe my wedding day.
Rob G is trashing you now.
Rob G, because I went soft. Is that what you're saying, Rob
Exactly, Rob.
What?
Are you kidding me?
I know.
This is your bit. We created an entire segment around you being, I'm writing, I'm ripping, and now you have an opportunity to rip anybody, and you're like, no, it just feels too good today. I just can't do it.
I just can't do it. Rob G, you know, I've been through it, right? I've been through it.
All right. Well, I can respect that.
It's okay. You know what?
If I'm trashing anybody.
Who you trashing? No,
I'm trashing the Chicago Tribune.
Okay.
They wrote an editorial. I'm going to let Rob G summarize it and then get into my thoughts. Came out yesterday, editorial.
It's an editorial that came out, and people.
This is an editorial for the entire paper.
It's their editorial board, not
right?
in the sports department.
I understand.
Not a sports column or anything like that.
So rather than just summarize it, I'm going to read 2 small paragraphs and let you guys be the judge. But this is the gist of the story in the Chicago Tribune. The foul committed by Chicago Sky guard Chennedy Carter was egregious. Outside of a sporting contest, it would have been seen as an assault. Even within a sporting context, it was bad. They add later.
Really?
There's more, Chris. I want you to hear this last part. She has to compete, talking about Caitlin Clark, on her own merits. But basketball has rules, and if the WNBA chews her up and spits her out because it is too afraid of being called racist to protect her from a racially tinged animosity, or indeed from fouls such as the one Carter committed, it will have done a huge disservice to its own game, now at a major inflection point, thanks in no small measure to, yes, Caitlin Clark.
I'm trashing the Chicago Tribune. That's weak. Weak. It would have been assault away from a basketball court. How much wouldn't be an assault? What fouls, Rob, wouldn't be an assault away from a basketball court?
I'm assuming that they've never seen a Chicago Blackhawks game, Chris. Assault happens every 10 seconds.
Football? Watch the Bears lately?
Right. Stop.
Now they're getting assaulted. They're not doing much assaulting, but they get. I mean, really? Come on, man. And I mean, I'm sorry, Rob, there's been a lot of talk from people saying that Caitlin Clark is getting all this attention, or at least a lot of it, because she's white, because it's racism. I haven't seen it that way. I have said, look, Diana Taurasi was white, is white. Breanna Stewart is white. Sue Bird, Sabrina Ionesco, a lot of WNBA stars or college stars have been white in female basketball. And none of them were championed like Caitlin Clark. None of them captured the imagination of the public like Caitlin Clark. So I think it's the way she plays. Like Steph Curry, kind of logo threes, great ball handling, great passing, vision, all that stuff. But there have been some instances of racism. One of them was when Iowa was invited to the White House, even though they lost to LSU. I mean, what? All of a sudden, the first time you're going to invite the runner-up to the White House, it just happens to be a virtually all-white team led by a white star. I think that was some racism. And I think this column, which, Rob, if you read the whole thing, is written like Caitlin Clark is some princess who finds herself lost in a jungle. And oh my, you better protect her. These wild things out there that are going after. That's how it read. Shame on the Chicago Tribune. That was ridiculous. And to me, that was racist. Because there's an Angel Reese getting hammered too. Fouled physically and all that stuff. And I haven't seen them write about her. Yeah, I think, like, it's not just the physical. I mean, she's getting physical play, but some of that's just you a rookie. And she's not the only one. We're focusing on her because of her stardom, but a lot of them are getting that. But I just think that was ridiculous what the Chicago Tribune did.
Yeah, it just sounds way, way off base. It sounds like they're overdoing it, Chris, and trying to say, leave her alone, let her do whatever she wants, let her shoot, leave her open.
Right.
Leave her open. What are you doing? I mean, who are the other basketball players who are saying that they should be like the WNBA is making a mistake? They should be like the WWE.
Jeff Teague.
Yeah, and they should just allow her to win the championship and move out of the way and all that. Are you serious? Really?
Right.
Come on, man. Come on. And the same thing. If it's a foul, Chris, they'll call it. If it ain't a foul, play on. It's so simple. So simple.
I think some of the Tribune was, because you read the column, they were somewhat reacting, in my feeling. Rob G, you read it too. You let me know if you agree. I think they were somewhat reacting to Whoopi Goldberg and Sonny Hostin on The View, who were basically defending Chennedy Carter's chop block on Caitlin Clark. And that was bad. Like, I'm like, look, sometimes, like, that was wrong. Black people aren't perfect. We do things wrong sometimes. That was wrong. And for Whoopi Goldberg and Sonny Hostin to act like, oh, that's just part of the game. It wasn't a basketball play. I'm not saying you got to make Chennedy Clark out to be some bad person. I'm not saying that. We've seen players do this types of thing. But don't defend it. It was a dirty play. You can admit it was a dirty play and still have your views on you think Caitlin Clark's getting favorable treatment because she's white or whatever. But you can't defend stuff that's just indefensible. And the league came back the next day and said it was a flagrant one. It was just, like, if you want to get back at Caitlin Clark, who, threw an elbow. I saw it. I thought it was indecisive if I saw the right video. But if you say she threw an elbow at Carter, you want to get her back in the during the game. And it still might be called a foul. It still might be called a flagrant. But if she goes to the hole, foul her hard. Something like that. But this, you can't defend that. Rob, it's like Karl Malone when he hammered Isaiah Thomas.
Right.
When he drove to I can't defend it. It was a dirty play. And so I think the Tribune was responding to that. Both of them are wrong. Both of them are wrong. And this thing, Rob, has become really polarizing where it's like people are putting politics in this and taking, almost like their political views are informing their view of this. Call it like you see it. Chennedy Carter's shot was dirty. We're not castigating her going forward. It was just a dirty play in that instance. And the Chicago Tribune's column was definitely racist to me.
Ridiculous. It just didn't make any sense. And to use the word assault, really?
Yes.
Did they pull her hair? Did they hit her head on the concrete, Chris? Assault.
She bumped her.
Isn't that a little excessive to call that behavior assault? Was there a baseball bat on the court, Chris, that I didn't see?
Thank you.
Was there a jump kick in the back where she wasn't looking?
No,
stop it. Stop.
I mean, do they write that when Draymond Green, some of the things he's done? And I know that's obviously he's black, but I'm just saying, like, we've seen him do worse on the court, Rob. Or I don't know. Is it somewhat sexist in saying that women shouldn't, have hard fouls and physical play? They are wrong for that. It'll be interesting. I know it came out yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of responses they get from that. But Rob, again, that was not a column in the sports section.
Right.
That was the editorial board of the paper.
Wow. I thought it was ridiculous. Sounds ridiculous.